The Magic Paintbrush. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among rolling hills and fields of golden wheat, there lived a poor orphan boy named Liang. Liang was known throughout the village for his incredible talent as an artist. Despite his poverty, he had a gift for painting that was unrivaled in the land. One day, Liang was walking through the woods when he stumbled upon an old, dusty paintbrush. As he picked it up, he felt a strange sensation coursing through his body. He knew this was no ordinary paintbrush. This brush was magical. Excited to try out his new tool, Liang set off back to his village. Along the way, he stopped at a small stream and dipped the brush into the water. As he began to paint, the water came alive with vibrant colors and shimmering light. Liang couldn't wait to see what other wonders he could create with the magic paintbrush. He went home and began to paint in earnest, bringing to life the lush countryside around him. The villagers marveled at his creations, and soon word of his incredible gift spread throughout the land. One day, a greedy emperor who had heard of Liang's talent came to the village, demanding that the artist come and paint for him. Liang knew that the emperor would never let him go if he saw the magic brush, so he refused. But the emperor was not to be deterred. He sent his soldiers to capture Liang and bring him to the palace. Once there, the emperor demanded that Liang paint a portrait of him that was as beautiful and regal as he believed himself to be. Liang knew that he had to use the magic paintbrush to create something truly breathtaking. He dipped the brush into a pot of gold paint and began to work. With each stroke, the paint seemed to come to life, and the portrait that emerged was the most magnificent thing that anyone had ever seen. The emperor was so pleased with the portrait that he demanded that Liang stay at the palace and paint for him every day. Liang was trapped, forced to create one masterpiece after another for the demanding emperor. One day, Liang could take it no longer. He knew that he had to escape the palace and the tyrannical emperor. As he fled, he grabbed the magic paintbrush and began to paint his way out of the palace. Each stroke of the brush created a doorway, and Liang slipped through them, leaving the emperor's palace far behind. Liang eventually found his way back to his village, where he continued to paint with the magic paintbrush. He used his gift to bring beauty and joy to the world, but he never forgot the lessons he had learned about the dangers of greed and tyranny. From that day forward, Liang used his gift to help others and to make the world a more beautiful place. Li Ming couldn't believe his eyes as he saw the magic paintbrush come to life before him. He knew he had to test it out, and so he painted a simple picture of a fish. As soon as he finished the last stroke, the fish came to life and swam out of the canvas, splashing water everywhere. Li Ming knew he had to be careful with such a powerful tool, and so he decided to use it only for good. He began to paint beautiful pictures of nature, animals, and people. Each time he finished a painting, the subjects came to life and interacted with him and the world around them. Word of Li Ming's magic paintbrush spread quickly, and soon people from all over came to see him and his paintings. They would watch in amazement as the creatures and people he painted came to life, and they would marvel at the beauty and detail of his artwork. But not everyone was happy with Li Ming's power. The greedy and envious emperor heard about the magic paintbrush and wanted it for himself. He sent his soldiers to capture Li Ming and bring him to the palace. Li Ming was terrified as he was brought before the emperor, who demanded that he give him the magic paintbrush. Li Ming refused, knowing that the emperor would use it for evil and destruction. Enraged, the emperor ordered his soldiers to destroy Li Ming's paintings and capture him as a prisoner. Li Ming was thrown into a dark and damp cell, where he remained for days, wondering if he would ever be free again. But the magic paintbrush had one more trick up its sleeve. As Li Ming sat in his cell, he began to paint a picture of a beautiful phoenix rising from the ashes. As he finished the last stroke, the phoenix came to life and burst out of the canvas, filling the cell with light and warmth. The phoenix carried Li Ming out of his cell and flew him to safety, away from the clutches of the evil emperor. From then on, Li Ming knew that the magic paintbrush was not just a tool for art, but a symbol of hope and freedom. As the days went by, word of Shen's talent with the magic paintbrush spread far and wide. People came from distant lands to see him and to witness the incredible things he could create with just a stroke of his brush. But with great power comes great responsibility, and Shen soon found himself faced with a difficult decision. He could use his gift to enrich himself and live a life of luxury, or he could use it to help those in need. One day, as he was painting by a river bank, he saw a group of poor farmers struggling to harvest their crops. Their tools were worn and broken, and they could barely afford to feed their families. Shen knew he had to help them. He dipped his brush into the river and painted a field of wheat that stretched as far as the eye could see. The wheat was real and it was bountiful, and the farmers were overjoyed. They thanked Shen and praised him for his generosity. After that day, Shen dedicated himself to using his gift for the greater good. He painted beautiful gardens for the sick and the elderly, and he created fountains that spouted fresh water for villages in need. But as time passed, Shen began to grow weary. He had been painting non-stop for years, and he longed for a break. So he set off on a journey to explore the world and to find inspiration for his art. He traveled to distant lands and saw many wondrous things. He painted majestic mountains, vast deserts, and lush forests. He even painted a herd of unicorns, which he had only ever heard of in stories. As he journeyed, Shen began to realize that his magic paintbrush was not just a tool for creating beautiful things, but a symbol of hope and inspiration for people all over the world. And so he decided to use it to spread joy and love wherever he went. He painted portraits of people he met, capturing their personalities and their inner beauty on canvas. He painted murals on the walls of buildings, bringing color and life to drab and dreary neighborhoods. He even painted a giant rainbow across the sky, filling people's hearts with wonder and delight. And so Shen continued to paint, always seeking new ways to bring happiness and hope to the world. For he knew that the true magic of his paintbrush lay not in the things he created, but in the love and compassion that he poured into each stroke of the brush.